you can see, I'm sure for Mr. Shedrack, I'm sure you don't have, nothing here looks strange to you. The HTML tag we choose to, of course, there's a different deduct type thing that comes with some web pages, but for simplicity, we just picked on this one. So every page is expected to start with this, the HTML tag, and then we embedded the head tag, okay, and of course that's where it closes, and then we had the title tag that gives us the title of our page, and then beneath it is the script tag. Okay, so that's where our JavaScript and any other scripting language can go in. But for now, we just decided to stick with JavaScript for simplicity. And then maybe because JavaScript is one of the foremost, if not, one of the foremost scripting languages to hit the web. And then body is the, of course, that comes directly under head. And I think what I said was that head must close before body proceeds. For simplicity, just look at the human anatomy. The head ends before the body starts. So that's just for simplicity. Because why I say that is some people usually have a hard time coming up with this. Now, do we really need to know the structure? Yes, I believe so. Because when it comes to being working on already existing projects, you find that if you make some changes to the page, and things may mistakenly move around, to get them back into position, you need to know how they should be, before you start making the edits. So that's the reason why we went this far to come up with this. Then maybe I should just say something here about nesting tags between themselves. So the rule, basically, the easiest rule to remember is this: the last tag that you open should be the first tag that you close when you are nesting them. Okay, so this is the opening tag for script. We call script tags that have their opening separate from their closing. We call them container tags. So this is the one that closes script. This is the one that closes head, because head was the one, that's the only one that hasn't closed. You can see title opened and closed on the same line, but that still means that title is a container tag. As long as it has text or HTML in between it, it is a container tag. All right, so we looked at one more example that was not a container tag, and that was the image tag, the img tag. And we said that those tags that are not container tags are called empty tags. Not empty because they don't have anything inside, but empty because they don't have a separate opening and closing tag. And you can see how it looks here, img, and then these are the attributes that further give us more information about that tag or element. So this was where we couldn't go further, because I think I just ventured into the JavaScript a bit by creating a variable. We said a variable is a storage location that we could put our data in, and then later when we need that data, we could just call the name of the variable like we see here, called ans. What else did I say there? HTML is not case sensitive, but I prefer to use lowercase all the time for my tags. But the one that's case sensitive is JavaScript. So in short, in this page, we have both HTML and JavaScript in the mix. Okay, so this is where JavaScript ends, starts and ends. It has to be between the script tags. Now, I've seen examples where you have script tags in the head area. I've also seen examples where you have script tags in the body area. But I prefer the head area, because the head area will, in terms of arrangement, the head area will be rendered first by your browser before the body area. So anything that you want the page to have before it even enters the user's browser, it's better to put it in the head. But if it's later on, okay, it can happen anytime you want it to happen. You're fine with that. You can put it in the body area. Or better still, put it in a file somewhere and then link it to your web page if you like. But like I said, for simplicity, we're putting everything in one page. And this is how I teach. I mean, I think the youngest I've taught is 5, yeah. But I guess she didn't really appreciate it then. But when she was older, in almost 10 years old, I think she was able to appreciate JavaScript. I usually focus on JavaScript. They find HTML, interesting. And I say that not to um, um, not to belittle adults who are learning it, but it's just to make us to understand that if we have learned this thing earlier, it should have given us what do I call it? What should I call it? An advantage, you know. We see today children who are like 10, 12 entrepreneurs on their own, doing things. And I think if a child is able to do something before they're 10 years old, you have set that child up for life. Okay? But of course, like they say, no time is too late for one to join. Probably I would say that I'll be very frank with you. It was during university days that I got in touch with HTML. And ever since then, that's how it has been for me. Interesting. One thing after the other, new technologies coming. Then it was HTML3. But by now, I think we have HTML5 or 6 now. The standard has been upgraded. So I just want to encourage us as much as we can. If you can get this knowledge across to younger audiences, younger generation, it will really help. It will help us because what we see is, and I think Naira is heavily, it's somehow, I'll say there's hope for it. But I believe that if Nigeria has more of tech people who are creating things, we're not just consumers, we're creating things, our economy will be better and our Naira will stand strong, will become stronger. So having said that, I think I can move on to something else. So the JavaScript, you can see JavaScript, like I said, JavaScript is case sensitive. That means that if you created, for instance, I created this variable and I called it ans, and if you notice, I created it with all lowercase. If I come here and I do something like this, JavaScript will ask me, what exactly am I doing? I've just created another variable. Okay, and that variable called capital A ans will be undefined. Okay, so JavaScript is very case sensitive. The further implication of that is that if JavaScript gave you a function called alert, we called alert a library function. Library because, just like you go to a library to get your books, you read and you return it. The alert function is a very popular function. People have been calling it for ages. So when JavaScript gives you a function called alert, and then you, on your own, you now go and call your own alert with capital A, you will totally be on your own because JavaScript will not honor the call to that function. Except if you create your own function called alert and you give it a capital A, which I don't want to believe anybody on this meeting call will want to do something like that. But if you have to, then please go ahead, feel free and make your changes. But make sure that when you create a function, it has to be clearly different from the library function that JavaScript gave you. Okay, so today I know because we have a mix of entry-level people who have not seen it before, people who are seeing it for the first time, people who are seeing it for the 18th time, second time, third time, 100th time. So I don't want to dwell too much on the date.
It's a lie.
It's a lie.
We are all seeing it. We are for the first time. Some of us have seen it about. We have not interacted with it for a long time.
Oh, okay. You've seen it before, but you've not interacted with it for a long time.
I haven't seen anything JavaScript for a long time, so this is that.
Okay. Oh, okay. The JavaScript.
I've seen it for the first time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So that's what I said.
Yeah, JavaScript.
I've found more people are familiar with HTML more than JavaScript. So it's also interesting that when I'm teaching JavaScript, I tell them, look, guys, we're just going to do small stuff with the HTML. The appeal in HTML is that it's a presentation language. So you see it, you see the colors, you see things, you see pictures. But the JavaScript is more powerful than it. And I say that with respect to both HTML people and JavaScript people. It's just the truth. JavaScript was designed to be a dynamic language. In other words, it creates things on the fly. So I'm going to demonstrate it in this class. I hope I have enough time and my battery will last me. JavaScript can create HTML on the fly, and the reverse is not possible. Okay, so let me just see if I can demonstrate that. So for now, the only thing I will say in advance for this is that the alert function is a function. It's just like an errand boy. You call the alert function and you give it what it should work with. What you have in between these parentheses or brackets is called the argument. Okay, so the argument is, I want you to display my variable is, and then the plus sign here is a concatenator or a joiner. It joins things together. Simple. No too much grammar about it. It joins things together. Concatenation just means to join. So it joins this string. Python people, you know that this is not possible with Python. You have to make the variable, which is not a string, to be a string before you can join it. But in the meantime, for JavaScript, we're lucky. We can just join things as we want. So you can join a string literal to an integer variable. As you can see, it's an integer variable because I put an integer inside it. An integer is simply a whole number. Okay, so it's nothing strange. And let me just digress a bit. Now, people who usually have a good background with math stand, I didn't say that it always happens, but they stand a better chance to equally be good programmers, coming up with algorithms, coming up with how to solve your problems. If you have a good math background, you will be a better programmer. That's just the truth. But if you didn't have a good math background, but you read a good programming textbook, and I'm emphasis on good programming textbook, not just from any author who learned it by the side and is not patient enough to go down to the basics, you will still get it. You will still understand it. The only thing is that when it comes to understanding other people's algorithms that are based off mathematical algorithms, because there are algorithms that are created by mathematicians that programmers simply implement in their code, and it does wonders for them. Okay, if you want to understand those algorithms, you may not be able to understand it. But the good thing about programming is that nobody's asking you to understand everything they are doing. If you know what to call, you know the order in which to call it, you know the order in which to put your code, you are good to go. All right. But of course, trust me, there will be, separating the men from the boys will come. There will come a time that your understanding of those algorithms will count. Okay. So thank God for programming languages like Python that hides so many things. You just call a function, you don't even know what the function is doing, and nobody's asking you to know. It's called abstraction. It's a good thing. Just know what to call and call it when you need to call it. Okay, so let's make some progress. So today, like I said, I want to demonstrate the fact that JavaScript can alter our HTML on the fly. That's, as you want it to happen, or even after the user has loaded your web page. The user agent, in this case, I'm talking about your Google Chrome browser, your Microsoft Edge browser. For the Apple users, your Safari browser, Mozilla Firefox, these are browsers that simply receive HTML and render it as they receive it based on their rendering engine. Okay, so when they receive this HTML, whatever they receive will remain like that until the user interacts with the page, or if the JavaScript is called to do something automatically, it will do it automatically. Now, for those who just joined us, I noticed some people just joined us a few minutes ago. We have said that your script tags can be in the head area and they can equally be in the body area. But the advantage of it being in the head area is that it loads when your web page is loading. Okay, and it runs also when the head area, when the web page loads. Okay, the body of the web page happens after the head has happened. Okay, and that's the reason why if I put this alert here and I have some other things happening here, even in the body area, you will notice that nothing happens until the head area has finished executing. So let me just quickly demonstrate that, and so that we can also learn something new. Okay, so the BG color, not so new, it's called background color. And I think I said in the last class that HTML is an American invention. So we are stuck with American spellings. So BG color is what do you call it? Background color for our web page. So any color I choose is only going to show when the head has finished showing. Sorry, I have to use my on-screen keyboard because of some of my keys are acting funny. Okay, so let's just say blue. I like blue. Okay. All right. So this is the simplest way to introduce BG color to anyone. Just tell them that you can specify what color they want, whatever color they want, in between quotation marks, and then have it display when you need it to. So take note, guys. Basically, what's happening here is my code in the JavaScript is creating a variable called ans and calling the alert function and saying, giving it my variable is concatenating ans, and we're expecting 32 to show on the screen. Maybe one thing I need to say is that in JavaScript and any other programming language, I can say, anytime you need text or output to show exactly as you want it, you use literals. And in this case, a string literal, you put it between double quotation marks or single quotation marks. But when you want the content of a variable to display, please don't use any quotation marks. Okay, please. It will be very wrong for you to start putting ans in quotation marks. If you do, JavaScript will just give you what you gave it. It will just show ans on the screen. It won't show you that 32 that you were expecting. So you have to be careful when you are putting your output. Now, we created this page in the last class, so I'm going to just save it. All I need to do is to click on save. Please, for those who missed that last class, because of time, kindly watch the YouTube link that Mrs. Lasisi created for us and uploaded on the YouTube page. So you can watch it, and while you're there, you can follow that YouTube page and turn on your subscription so that you can be getting new alerts for videos that are added from time to time. All right, so I just saved it. So I'm going to open it now. To open it, I'll just go to my File Explorer. I'll click on my File Explorer and look out for it. Okay, so you can see it here under Recent Files. Okay, so for simplicity, I'm just going to open it from here. I'm going to double click first page. Okay, all right, so you can see that. Now, everybody take note, this is not blue. I'm sure you can see that it's not blue. So you might be wondering what's happening. Okay, so the alert box is simply showing here. And for you to dismiss it, you have to click OK. That's how the alert function works. So when you need to get your user's attention, use the alert function. That's just the summary of what I've said. When you want to get your user's attention, you are building a website, you want to get their attention, use an alert box. Okay? My variable is 32. Don't worry, we'll put a space in between very soon. But for now, let's click OK and see what happens. So you can see what I said about the head area having to finish rendering before the body area can happen. Now, if you had put that script in body area, guess what? It will not happen. Okay, just it won't be rendered at least when it was rendered, when it was supposed to be rendered, it will, when the head loaded. So always take note. Head will happen first before body will happen. Okay. Now I'm sure you are wondering, where's the image? Okay, let me see if we have enough time to take on how to add images to our page. I think we have enough time. Maybe I'll just do that now. Okay, for us to add an image, let me minimize this. For us to add an image, it's not technical, it's not difficult. We will need to go to the folder where our web page is. So for us, in case you forgot where your web page is, this is what I usually advise people to do. Click on File, click on Save As, not Save Again, Save As. It will take you to the folder, somehow. Hoping that you have not done something else with Notepad, by the way. But if you've done something else with Notepad, it will take you to the last folder that you saved stuff in. But here it's taking me to the folder because I don't think I've used Notepad for any other thing on this computer since our last class. So don't forget, we'll take it back to all files. Now, even if you don't do that all files, because you have done it before, you can just come and click on the first page. But our aim is not to save for now. If you wanted to save, that's what you would do. Well, our aim is to find out where that folder is, and you can see right now it's under Documents, under this PC. So I'll go to my Documents folder. I can cancel now. I'll go to my Documents folder under File Explorer. That's Documents, and okay, and let's see. Okay, so I don't know if some of you are. I guess somebody is wondering, what are all these green circles here with ticks inside them? That's just for backups. I back up my folders on OneDrive, and it's good because if anything happens to your computer, you can get it back just by formatting and installing. Okay, so I think I called the website Prompt Website. So that's it. You can see web page. So what we're going to do for a good practice, we'll create another folder and call it Images inside our website folder. Images. Okay, just for simplicity, I'll just call it Images. And then inside that folder, I'm going to put a picture. So it's empty, of course. You can see it's empty. So I'm going to quickly put an image there I want to use for a demo. Okay, so which image should I use? Alright, so I'll just go to pictures and look for any interesting image here. Okay, what was I doing with 9 mobile? Okay, okay, let's just use the 9 mobile image. Okay. So take note of the name of the image. We'll come to that later. I'll just right click and copy it so that you can also use Ctrl+C for your copy to make it faster. Then I'll go back. Okay, then I'll come to Images folder and I'll just Ctrl+V or I'll paste. Okay, so that's the name. You can see the image is there. It's inside the folder, but it's not on your web page yet. Take note, it's a JPG file, so you need to take note of the type. JPG, that's a JPEG file. And then the name of the image is 9 mobile logo. Take note, there are spaces in it. So I usually advise, if you want to get the exact name of the image, why not do as if you want to rename it? So you attempt to rename it and you do Ctrl+C, you copy. And then you go to your Notepad, and now remember the image is inside the folder called Images, right? So we're going to equally start with that. Sorry, I'm going to do something here. Pardon me. Okay, since I have my on-screen keyboard, let me just use it. So I'll do my G. Okay. So Images, and then I have my backslash. Backslash 2 is on holidays. Okay. So All right, so take notes. I'm using backslash. This is a forward slash, and this is a backslash. The way to remember is the backslash is tilting towards the left-hand side, and the forward slash is tilting towards the right. Okay, so you use backslash when you want to do your images. Then, remember, I've copied the image name, so I'll just do Ctrl V and paste it. Please do not type. I usually avoid typing. Once you start typing, you mess up the image name. Okay, then just type your dots, and then don't forget JPG. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to, because I copied 9 Mobile logo, let me just take out everything except the G. Okay. So there we go. I'll quickly save it. Ctrl S, or if you like doing the menu style. And then we'll go back to our web page. Remember the web page, we opened it in Microsoft Edge, and it's already there, but you notice nothing is showing yet until you refresh. Okay, again, my variable is 32 is showing. You click OK, and there you go. That's your 9 Mobile logo. Now, this thing that we've just done now that looks so simple, if you had messed anything up, the image will not show. Okay, the image won't show. So that's seeing this should make anybody that is trying it out for the first time very, very happy. In fact, I recommend that you give yourself a treat. If you like what do you call it? If you like pizza, go ahead and buy pizza for yourself. Okay, for you to be able to see these images, it's not a small thing. Even the background color, for you to get it right, you need to take yourself out. All right, so let me just make progress. What I wanted to do in today's class mainly is to show that JavaScript can alter your HTML. And to do that, I will need to add a few things. So I'll come back here and quickly, let me see if I can. Okay, don't worry, I'll use anytime I need, I'll use my on-screen keyboard. Okay, so to demonstrate that, I'll need to create a function. Now, remember, I said earlier that you can create your own function. So this is me creating my own function. What should we call it? Alter. Okay. Am I still in the meeting? Can somebody still hear me there?
Yes, I can hear you.
No, it's indeed.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I almost thought I was out of the meeting already. Okay. All right. So, where was I? Okay. So I want to call it alter because I want to change something. Okay. So to create a function, to create your own function, you call it the name you want, but you must use that function keyword. And if you notice, it's all in lowercase. Remember, JavaScript is case sensitive. So when it gives you something, make sure you use it exactly as it gave you. Okay. So to create the function, I give it a body using the curly braces. So I'm ready to now put my code in between. So what do I want to do? I want to create HTML on the fly. And what that means is that I'm going to alter an existing HTML. Okay. So for me to do that, I need to give my HTML that I need to alter a name. Okay. So in HTML, there's an attribute called the ID attribute. Okay. It's called the ID attribute, but I mean, okay, no, let me leave this. Let's see if I can do something else with this. Okay, so to just do a simple one, I'll just do document.write. Now, for simplicity, document.write looks like another output function. But the difference is just that it writes to the body of your HTML. Simple. Okay. So what I want to do now is to write HTML instead of just a text to the body of my page. So please take note. document is just another way of JavaScript calling body. All right. So you will see what I mean in a minute. Okay. So what do I want to write? I want to now. Maybe I should do something interesting. I want to create another image. Another image that I want the user to see when they click a button. So I'm going to do this. I'll copy this. And of course, I'm sure you can guess what I want to do. I'm going to create another image now. But I've not done that yet. So I'm going to quickly set the foundation for that. And then I'm going to paste right there. Okay? So for my own demonstration, let me quickly go to here and create my own image. Okay, so I'll go back to pictures and choose another image. Okay, since we did 9 mobile, let's do Airtel so that Airtel customers don't feel left out. So I'm going to pick on the Airtel logo and go to images, and I'll now paste. Okay, so again, remember, I advise, do not type anything. Even no matter how simple the image name is, just copy and go to your wherever you need it to be and paste. Take note, I think it's a JPEG file. Sorry, I didn't check that. Let me just confirm. Let me put my mouse over it. Okay, thank God it's a JPEG file. And then I'm going to paste it right here, like that. Now, I want you guys to understand something. Right now, it's the 9 mobile logo that will show on your web page. Nothing is happening here. This function will not execute until I call it. So the next thing I'm going to now do is to call it the same way I called JavaScript's function called alert. That's all I'm going to do. So for me to do that, I'll come here and create a button. Okay, remember, I need it to be called when the user does something. So to prompt the user to do something, we need to create another control. Okay, so I create my button, and then the button will have an attribute called on click. Okay, that means when I click on it, what should happen? That's exactly what I'm specifying. All right. Okay, so quickly. So you must have noticed by now that attributes are just simply, either something followed by the assignment operator and then quotation marks. Simple. So I'm going to call it alter. Remember, I called it alter, right? So don't forget. So I'm telling you that whenever this button is clicked, it should call the function called alter. Whenever you're calling a function, even if it doesn't have any arguments, you must put the parentheses there. Okay? Then what should be on our button? Our button is not an empty tag. So let's just call it click me and see some magic. Oh, sorry. My G is on a holiday, but it usually comes back sometimes. Okay, click me and see some magic. That's what I want my button to show. And then, click me and see some magic. Then I can now close button. Alright, so after I've done that, I am now free to go ahead and save. So what is expected to happen? Whenever you are programming or creating something, you should have an expectation. Your expectation is that when you click on this button, the alter function gets called. And what should happen? Everything here gets executed. That means the body will have this written inside it. An image, HTML on the fly. A new image will be created there. That's just the summary of what is happening. So if anybody has questions, please get ready to ask. I will be closing right after this. So let's go and see our web page now. I'm sure you've noticed that nothing has happened, right? You have to refresh. Okay. All right. So all you now need to do is to click. Okay, but there's a problem. It's not calling my alert function again. So what happened? There is something missing. Okay, I think I know why. So guys, whenever you notice an unexpected behavior, please take note. So if you notice what is happening, I have a double quotation mark here. The error is not even from here. I'm sure you guys know by now that there's no error here. That's why we saw that box. But it's not showing me the box again. So that tells me something is wrong. So there's an error here, and it's good that we learn from it. There's a quotation mark here, double quotation mark, and I'm using double quotation mark again inside. So to solve this problem, there are two things I can do. Either I change this double quotation mark to single quotation mark, like this, and then I'm sure that should solve the problem. There's another option, but because of time, let me see if I can quickly finish this. I will explore that second option. Please, if I forget, somebody should remind me. Okay, so you can see your box is back. That shows you that your code is working. And that's why it's good to have an expectation. Know what you're expecting to happen. And if it doesn't happen, then you ask yourself, why is it not happening? Sometimes it may take ages to find, but trust me, it will be worth it at the end of the day. Okay, so this is my button. I'm sure you can see the 9Mobile logo here. Image, sorry. And I'm going to now click on this. Okay, so what happened? Now, number one, my image is not showing. And let me see if I have everything in place. So what exactly is the problem? Is it, I told it document.write. Everything seems to be in place. Now, I'm not sure, did I get everything right? Okay, so maybe I should explore the second option. Just thinking. Okay, so the second option would be to still leave my double quotes. Let me see if that might be the issue. I expected it to work anyway. And then I'll have what they call escape characters, a backslash to escape that okay, I think I've equally seen another thing that may even cause. Okay, this shouldn't be a problem anyways. Okay, so let's see. I'll save it and go back and refresh. Okay. It's still not showing. But let me see. Let me even see what's supposed to be. Let's do this. Open image in a new tab. Okay, so I usually do this when I want to troubleshoot. I want to see exactly what is there, and that's the problem. That's exactly the problem. It's not rendering that backslash there. So that's where the issue is. So that's it. Okay. I'm sorry I'm in a hurry, but I hope if you watch this video again, I'm sure you will notice some of the things that which you're not noticing now. So basically, if you notice, this backslash didn't show. So I'm going to put another backslash to escape it. I wish I had enough time to explain escape. But the simple thing about it is that escape character simply means that character escapes from its usual meaning at that point in time. So for instance, the quotation marks, they are escaping from their usual meaning right here. This is the normal meaning. This is the meaning that you are escaping from. Okay, this one is you're escaping from the backslash to same thing for this. So that's exactly where the problem is. In other words, if I go back to using single quotes here, everything will still work perfectly as long as I have the backslash here. Okay, so I go back and let's see it. Let's see some magic. Okay, there you go. So I think we can end this class here. I really wish we had enough time to do CSS today. So maybe that would be next week. I hope we can finish CSS, and that would help us to see the three parts of front end, which is the HTML, the JavaScript, and CSS. Yes, so they've told me that my call ends in 13 minutes. So I'll open the floor to any questions. Mrs. Lasisi and Mama Ramsey, as I call her. You want to say something before the questions come?
Wow.
Hello?
Yes, I am here. I'm here all through.
Okay.
Wow. I love your simplicity in the teachings. I think everybody should be able to follow. Everyone. I stand to be corrected, but you are very, 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 very basic. Like this will give a very great foundation such that you know your onions. Even though there are tools to help you build website and all that, but if there are issues, you will not be able to fix if you do not have this kind of knowledge. And this is very extensive. Thank you so much, Charles. So everyone, we have less than 13 minutes before the top of the hour. So do you have any questions, any expectations? Are we meeting your expectations? Any question? Shedrack, how does the class look to you? Is it interesting? I want to start with Shedrack.
Thank you. Yeah, the class was interesting. It was interesting. Like he earlier said, he actually dissected it in a very, very minute way, whereby you know where and where to go if you have any errors. You know what to look out for. You know what to actually pinpoint and say, okay, let me check this and let me check this if there's any errors or anything that is not actually working the way you want. And from what he also said at the beginning stage, said something about you trying to make sure you kind of have this kind of notification that okay, this is what is supposed to pop up and this is what you're supposed to expect. And when you don't see what you're expecting, you know, okay, maybe there's an error there. For instance, like when he was trying to get the pop up for the variation and it didn't appear that first time, he actually noticed that okay, something was wrong, so he needed to correct it. It was a very, very good class. I really enjoyed being here.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Tedra, for that great feedback. Kazim, Tohib, and Elijah, how do you see the class? Do you have any question? Are we making progress? Kazim was here last week and is here today. Thank you for being consistent. and Tohib as well. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if you're saying anything, please remember your mic might be muted.
Yeah.
So you might need to unmute your mic.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Yeah, good morning. Yes, it's a build on what we had last week, and it's very interesting. So I have a little idea. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Very well.
We catch that.
Hello?
Wow.
We can hear you, Kazim.
Internet.
Maybe there's a little delay from his end. But we got that. So, Tohib, do you have any feedback?
Hello? Can anyone hear me, please?
Yeah, we heard what you said.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, Elijah, Tohib, you have any feedback? Okay.
Please, can I ask a question, please?
Okay.
When does this class, is it weekly, like Saturdays we do have this class or what? So I'll actually keep in touch.
Yes, Saturdays. So we started last week, and and it was everybody loved it. So this is a continuation this week. Um, Front actually has varieties of groups, and this is for the front end. We just started with the community, and then we are adjusting as everybody is also complying. And so yes, to answer your question, yes. So you can set a reminder, for Saturday morning on this. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, Toy, we got that. No problem.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. All right. I think on that note, we've done a great justice to this class this morning, and I have to thank everybody for making out your time. Um, we have a we have an initiative that we are planning on, and the idea is to help every one of us who are in entry level, such that we have a portfolio that we are building. So we are introducing. Okay, thank you, Toyi. We are introducing a project, and then we'll be communicating in the in the group. So to I don't want the meeting to just end abruptly.
Hmm.
So we are going to keep sharing the updates in the group, um, and then we will let you know how to participate, how to be part of it. But the idea is so that you can showcase your skills. You can. It's more like your internship, so to speak. So we are working on that, and we would communicate that. I mean, in a few days, in just maybe today, we can even start communicating so that everybody is aware. We want to make it a big deal, and it will help every one of us who need to showcase our portfolio in terms of what have we done if you are looking for
Hello.
entry level. Yes, please.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to thank our tutorial master for today. I've been listening with rapt attention. It's just that the way I work initially, there's a background noise. I don't want to disturb the class. So one or two things I've been able to get from the class today, I will make use of it. And I hope as we plan for something bigger as we go along, we'll have the enablement to be able to fulfill it. Thanks to everybody that's been in the class today. Thanks to the tutorial master, and thanks to you, madam. Appreciate.
Thank you, Mr. Elijah. Awesome. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, Kazim says his internet is bad, but we're able to hear you. We could hear you. It's awesome.
Hello. So sorry, guys. I just quickly stepped out. Um. Okay, we are still on.
Yes.
We have 4 minutes left.
Okay, so maybe I should just give a brief rundown of the project I have in mind.
Okay.
And I would like us to just have equally add our own, what do you call it? Um, our own input, our own ideas on what we could do with that project. So I gave a hint about it um, when I was explaining some of those things about us. If you notice, I said something about us having younger generations who are more creators, more creators than consumers. So um, the idea now is that each person that who is here will have create a single HTML page. You want to participate on the project, just create a single HTML page that would have maybe your picture or your brand's picture or something that would uniquely identify you, and then maybe your name somewhere basically it's to use your skills, use the HTML tags and create a simple HTML page that will have your picture, your your name, and then maybe what you do, a brief about what you do, maybe using a paragraph or something. We'll have the hint on how one can go about it. Then underneath, you can now, equally give us some idea of how you feel the, I wanted to tie it down to the naira, but I think maybe we should just put it as, a general thing, how the Nigerian tech landscape can be improved,
Okay.
how our economy, if I make it general, it should give us more material to
Yeah,
develop on.
to develop on.
How the Nigerian economy can be improved, what your own ideas on it. So that way, you are using the HTML you've learned to create something that, we are going to actually host it online, and
Yeah.
then you can refer to it from time to time, as something that you've done
Mm-hmm.
as your own,
Mm.
and then you can you have it there speaking for you online,
Yeah.
in addition to other things you may have done. But I think the whole idea of the project is to make it like a source of opinion, where people can actually go to and see opinion on what people feel about Nigeria and how Nigeria can be improved. If you feel like, okay, corruption is our problem, how do we correct it? How do we attack it? Things
Fantastic.
like talking to children, stuff like that. Put it out there. Use your
Yeah.
HTML, garnish it. You can even add JavaScript functionality.
Okay.
With what we did today.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So yes, so we're going to put this in an information, have a
Mm.
recording, and put out this task. That will be the entry requirement to
Okay.
participate in that project. Yeah. So we'll be communicating that in the group later today. I will be working with Charles to have that information passed out. So the meeting is ending now. And thank you
Okay.
so much, everyone, for being here. It's another beautiful morning. And we're excited to have you. So have a fantastic Saturday. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Charles,
you all
so
for
much.
coming.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome.
Yes.